It might be yours, it might be his. I know you'll stick around, she said coldly. So I waited for the test and walked away. Now she's alone, pregnant, and her family's demands mean nothing to me. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Hey Reddit, I need to get this off my chest. It's been a wild ride, and honestly, typing it out feels like closing the book on a chapter one never saw coming. I'm 28, and for the past 3 years I've been in what I thought was a solid relationship with Emily, 27. We met through mutual friends at a casual get-together in the city where we both lived. She was outgoing, funny, and we clicked right away. I was the steady type. Good job in tech support, reliable, always planning ahead. She worked in marketing, a bit more free-spirited, but I figured opposites attract. Right from the start, I was all in. I wasn't just dating her, I was building something. Early on, when she lost her job during a rough patch 2 years ago, I covered our rent for months without a second thought. I picked up extra shifts, cut back on my own stuff, even turned down a promotion that would have meant relocating because she wasn't ready to move. We're a team, I tell her, and I meant it. I remember one night after a long day. She came home stressed from job hunting, and I surprised her with her favorite takeout and a massage. She looked at me with those eyes and said, "You're the best thing that's ever happened to me." Flashbacks like that hit hard now, but back then they fueled me. We talked about the future a lot. Marriage, kids, the whole deal. I wasn't pushing, but I was committed. Last year, I even started saving for a ring, stashing away bits from my paycheck. Emily seemed on board. She'd send me links to baby names or houses in quieter neighborhoods. "Someday," she'd say with a wink. I sacrificed weekends with friends to help her with her side hustle, designing graphics for her freelance gigs. I was the one fixing her car when it broke down, driving her to appointments, being the rock. And yeah, things weren't perfect. Every couple has ups and downs. But I never doubted us until about 6 months ago. It started subtly. She was more distant, always on her phone, laughing at messages she'd hide when I walked in. I chalked it up to work stress or hormones, especially when she started feeling off. Then one evening after dinner, she sat me down on the couch in our small apartment. Her face was serious, but there was this spark in her eyes, like she was excited. "I'm pregnant," she said simply. I was overjoyed. "For real?" My heart raced. I jumped up, hugged her tight, spinning her around gently. "This is amazing. We're going to be parents." I babbled about everything. Doctor's appointments, nursery ideas, how I'd step up even more. That night I couldn't sleep. I lay there planning. The next day I called my boss about paternity leave options, started researching baby gear. I even surprised her with prenatal vitamins and a little onesie that said, "Future adventure awaits." Emily smiled, but looking back it was forced. She thanked me, but there was no real warmth. Still, I dove in head first. I cooked healthier meals, rubbed her feet when she complained of swelling, and talked endlessly about our little family. "I'll be the best dad," I promised her one night, my hand on her barely showing belly. She nodded, but her eyes drifted. For weeks I was in bliss mode. I told my close friends, my parents. They were thrilled. I envisioned teaching our kid to ride a bike, family trips, all of it. Emily went along with it, but she skipped a couple of checkups, saying she was busy. I offered to go with her every time, but she'd wave me off. "It's fine, babe, just routine." I trusted her, why wouldn't I? I'd given everything to this relationship, and this baby felt like the payoff. Little did I know it was all built on sand. About a month after the announcement, things escalated. She started staying out later, claiming girls' nights or work events. I'd wake up worried about her and the baby, but she'd brush it off. One Friday night, she came home late, smelling faintly of cologne that wasn't mine. I confronted her gently. "Hey, everything okay?" But she snapped. "Can I have space?" That stung, but I backed off, not wanting to stress her during pregnancy. The mistreatment ramped up. Snide comments about my boring routine, how I was always hovering. I felt like I was walking on eggshells, but I endured it for the sake of our future. I reminded myself pregnancies can be tough on moods. If only I'd known the truth was festering underneath. Then came the bomb. It was a quiet Tuesday evening. I'd just gotten home from work carrying groceries for a nice dinner I planned to cook. Her cravings had been all over the place. Emily was sitting at the kitchen table scrolling through her phone, not even looking up when I walked in. I set the bags down and kissed her forehead. How was your day, baby kicking yet? She put her phone down slowly, face blank. No tears, no nerves, just this cold, detached stare. We need to talk, she said, gesturing to the chair across from her. I sat, heart sinking a bit. What's up? Is everything okay with the checkup? She leaned back, crossing her arms. The baby's fine, but there's something you should know. I've been seeing someone else, Jake from work. It's been going on for a few months. The room spun. I gripped the table edge, staring at her. What? Emily, what are you saying? She shrugged like it was no big deal. It started as flirting, then more. I didn't plan it, but Jake gets me in ways you don't. He's exciting, pushes me out of my comfort zone. With you, it's just safe, predictable. I felt like I'd been punched. But the baby, our baby, how could you? That's when she dropped the real hammer, her voice steady, almost smug. It might be yours, it might be his. I know you'll stick around to find out, though. You're a good guy like that. I sat there numb. A good guy? Emily, this is our life. I've been planning everything around this child, around us. She rolled her eyes slightly, picking up her phone again as if bored. Look, I was confused. You were always so focused on the future, the stability. Jake makes me feel alive, like I'm not just settling. But yeah, the timing overlaps. We'll do a test after the birth or whatever. Until then, you can help out. I mean, you love me, right? This doesn't have to change that. Her logic twisted like a knife. Help out? You're telling me you've been cheating for months and now I might not even be the father, but I should just wait around? Exactly, she said, smirking a little. You're responsible. Jake's fun, but he's not the type to step up like you. I figured you'd understand. It's not like I meant to hurt you. Blame the hormones or whatever. But come on, don't make this dramatic. We can co-parent if it's yours or figure it out. I searched her face for remorse, but there was none. Just entitlement. Like I owed her my loyalty even after this. And if it's not mine, what then? She waved a hand dismissively. Then you're off the hook. But until we know, let's not rock the boat. Pass me those groceries. I could use a snack. That was it. No apology, no tears. Just cold calculation, treating me like a backup plan. The betrayal burned, outrageous and undeserved after everything I'd poured in. She'd humiliated me, made me feel like a fool for my commitment. But in that moment, I didn't explode. I just nodded slowly, stood up, and started unpacking the bags in silence, my mind racing. The days after that confession were a blur of quiet hell. I didn't beg her to choose me or confront Jake. I knew that would just feed her smugness. Instead, I detached calmly, methodically. That night, after she went to bed early, I sat on the couch staring at the wall, replaying every sacrifice. The extra hours at work for our future. The nights I held her through her anxieties. The dreams I'd built around a family that might not even be mine. Confusion hit hard. How could someone I'd loved so deeply turn so cold? It felt unfair, like the universe was mocking my loyalty. But I didn't lash out. I breathed, thought it through. The next morning over coffee, I kept it simple. We'll do the paternity test, prenatal if possible, to know sooner. She looked surprised I wasn't fighting. Okay, good. See, you're handling this maturely. I didn't respond to that. Internally, though, I was done. I contacted a clinic quietly, scheduled the test for a few weeks out. It was non-invasive, just blood draws. In the meantime, I started pulling back. I moved my things to the spare room without fanfare. For space, I told her when she asked. She shrugged, probably relieved. Those weeks, I let the silence settle. I went to work, hit the gym after, started journaling my thoughts. Anything to process without exploding. Friends noticed I was off, but I kept it vague. Relationship stuff. Inside, the unfairness gnawed. I'd been mistreated, manipulated into excitement over a lie. Flashbacks to her pregnancy announcement replayed, twisting from joy to poison. But I sat with it. Let the confusion fade into resolve. No emotional outbursts, just dignity. I canceled the baby gear orders, stopped talking futures. When she tried small talk, I'd reply politely but briefly. Emily noticed the shift eventually. You're being weird, she'd say. Lighten up, it's not the end of the world. I'd nod, just focusing on facts. No more foot rubs, no more hovering. I disappeared emotionally, preparing for whatever the test said. If it was mine, I'd co-parent responsibly. If not, well, that bridge would come. I even started looking at apartments online, subtly packing non-essentials. The emotional middle stretched into days of quiet reflection. Realizing her betrayal had freed me from a toxic dynamic I'd ignored. I wasn't begging. I was building an exit. When the test day came, we went together, silent in the car. Results would take a week. I dropped her off after, then went home alone to think. No drama, just detachment. Whatever happened next, I was ready to walk away with my head high. The test results came back a week later. I got the email while at work, sitting in my cubicle staring at the screen. Non-paternity confirmed. Simple as that. No match. The baby wasn't mine. A wave of relief mixed with the lingering ache of betrayal washed over me. It was over. No ties. No obligations. But for Emily, that's when karma started swinging. I called her from the parking lot, keeping it factual. Results are in, it's not mine. There was a pause on her end, then a sharp intake of breath. What? That can't be right. Let me see the report. I forwarded it without comment. Later that evening, back at the apartment, I hadn't fully moved out yet, tying up loose ends. She was pacing, phone in hand. Turns out she'd already texted Jake the news. His response? Radio silence at first, then a curt message. Not my problem, we were just having fun. He blocked her after that from what she ranted about. Jake, the exciting guy from her office, wanted nothing to do with fatherhood or her drama. He'd been stringing her along, probably seeing others too. Based on the rumors that trickled back through mutual work acquaintances, Emily unraveled fast. Pregnant and alone, she lost her edge. That smug confidence evaporated. Her job put her on maternity leave early due to stress, but really it was the office gossip mill churning. People knew about the affair. Whispers turned to isolation. Friends who'd cheered her glow-up started distancing themselves when the truth surfaced. No one wants to side with the cheater in a mess like this. Financially, she was stretched thin without my support covering extras. Bills piled up. She spent days on the couch scrolling job sites half-heartedly, complaining about nausea and loneliness. I saw it all in glimpses as I packed, but I didn't engage. Karma didn't need my help. It was hitting her square, exposing the fragility of her choices. The woman who dismissed me as predictable was now facing the unpredictable fallout of her betrayal, discarded just like she discarded me. It didn't take long for her to pivot back to me. At first, it was subtle. A text the day after the results. Hey, can we talk? This is harder than I thought. I didn't respond. Why would I? But that opened the floodgates. A couple days later, a voicemail. Look, I know you're mad, but I made a mistake. Jake's a jerk. He bailed. The baby's coming in a few months and I could use some help. We were good together, right? Let's figure this out. I listened, then deleted it. No sympathy stirred. Her words just highlighted the hypocrisy. She justified cheating with excitement, but now stability was appealing again. Still, I stayed silent, focusing on my new routine. Apartment hunting. Therapy sessions where I unpacked the confusion. Runs in the park to clear my head. Her attempts escalated. About a week later, she showed up at my work during lunch. I'd mentioned my schedule once, forgetting she'd remember. I was grabbing coffee in the lobby when she approached. Belly more pronounced, eyes puffy but determined. Please, she said, voice low but urgent. I need you. This baby's innocent in all this. You were so excited before. Don't punish it for my screw-up. I set my cup down, keeping my tone even. Emily, the baby isn't mine. That's a fact. She stepped closer, desperation cracking her facade. But you could be there. Step up like a real man. I chose wrong with Jake. He used me. But you're different. We can start over. Raise this kid as ours. I miss us. Her hypocrisy shone through, twisting real man like she'd never mocked my kindness. No, I said simply. That's not my path anymore. She flushed, anger flickering. So that's it? You're just going to abandon me after everything? I didn't abandon you, I replied calmly. You chose this. Good luck. I walked away, heart pounding but head high. She didn't follow. Then came the toxic reinforcements. Her family, never my biggest fans, always pushing her toward better, got involved. First, a call from her sister, Mia, 2 days later. Hey, it's Mia, Emily's a mess. You need to man up and help. Family's family, even if the kid's not yours biologically. I almost laughed at the entitlement. Mia, respect my boundaries. This isn't my responsibility. She huffed. You're heartless. Mom wants to talk too. Click. The next evening, her mom texted. Shame on you for leaving her high and dry. We raised her to expect better from men. Call her back. I blocked the number, but Emily wasn't done. Her attempts turned frantic. A barrage of messages over the next week. Please, I'm scared. Doctor says I need support. Then angrier. Fine, ignore me, but you're proving you're not the good guy I thought. One night she showed up at the apartment unannounced. I'd given her a key back, but she used a spare. I opened the door to her standing there, tears finally flowing. Let me in. We need to hash this out. I blocked the doorway. No, Emily, we're done. She pushed past slightly, voice rising. You owe me. I gave you 3 years. Now I'm alone because of your stubbornness. Jake's gone. Friends think I'm trash. Help me fix this. Her true colors emerged. Manipulative, blaming me for her consequences. I don't owe you, I said firmly. Leave or I'll call someone. She stormed off, slamming the door. The pleas devolved into rage-filled voicemails. You're a coward. Enjoy your lonely life. I documented it all just in case, but stayed detached. Her desperation only solidified my resolve. She was irrelevant now, a chapter closing. The final nail came about a month later, right as I was settling into my new place. A quiet studio across town. Fresh start. I'd blocked Emily everywhere, but her family persisted. One afternoon, my phone rang from an unknown number. I answered cautiously. It's Emily's dad, the gruff voice said. We need to talk, son. She's struggling. Prenatal classes alone, bills stacking. The baby's due soon. You gotta step up, be the bigger person. I paused, gathering my thoughts. This was it, their last-ditch demand, toxic and unpleasant, guilting me like I was still tethered. But I was free, thriving, a promotion at work, new friends from the gym, even dipping into dating with someone genuine who valued loyalty. Emily's chaos was a distant echo. Sir, I said calmly, my only responsibility was to the possibility of my child. That possibility is 0. I am protecting my peace by ending this conversation. Do not contact me again. There was sputtering on the other end. Wait, you can't just... I hung up, blocked the number. No anger, no elaboration, just firm boundaries. In that moment, I felt the power reversal. She was desperate, unraveling, while I'd built a life where she held no sway. Her attempts were powerless. I was emotionally evolved, focused on my future. If she saw me now, happy and unburdened, she'd realize what she'd lost. But it didn't matter. She was irrelevant to my happiness. Reddit was I for cutting ties completely. Looking back, the betrayal was infuriating, but walking away with dignity led to this peace. Thanks for reading. Hope this helps someone else spot the red flags. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.